Are you a good guy or a bad guy?
Go live. Alright, you should be able to see that.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, welcome to the Arc. This is the first match between Ikigai and Wolf. And I have here my good friend, Blue, who will be assisting me in the commentary for this tournament he did last Sunday. So right now they're just setting up, and it's going to be a race, action race.
Let me show you my real power.
Yes, so we are underway. We will be doing an all mode. So the first round to this tournament was a race mode, so it will be Ikigai versus Wolf. Ikigai on the Shadow, and then Sonic is Wolf. And they are playing on Skyward. This is the Dreamcast version, by the way, since this is the first ever Fightcade tournament, so...
Right, yes, this is the first Fightcade tournament. And I thought it did, pretty good for Fightcade. There's a few issues here and there, but for the most part, everyone was able to play.
Yes, because there was a couple of Fightcade tournaments that has happened in the past and stuff. Usually it has been more successful on a different Discord server, but then there has been other Discord servers whereby none of the actual opponents can connect. But we did have a tutorial a couple of days in the past whereby all the players had followed tutorials and everyone was able to connect to everyone. There was just pretty much just connection issues with a few people, of course, but other than that we were able to stream most of the matches, so the replays are here. We didn't actually have the commentary on live when it was done for the tournament, just because of the fact that Fightcade, or should I say Flycast replays, are actually quite iffy right now. So there's a lot of issues with Flycast replays, unfortunately, and the best way is to pretty much wait for all the matches to finish, and then we can actually post commentate as if we are actually watching it the first time.
Right, yeah, because I did encounter some issues when testing out the replays, but so far it's working.
Yes. And then as you can see here that, with Wolf, he's very much experienced with the game. He has been competing in a couple of the ARC tournaments, as we have seen before. He has been a couple of finalists, and he's looking very strong here against Ikigai to actually take the first win on Skywell.
Yes, so it's 0-1 or 1-0, depending on how you're looking at it. Wolf has 1, Ikigai 0.
Soon enough.
So this is the second match on Green Forest between the two.
Yes, so one thing to point out is that in each of the modes in Fightcade for the Dreamcast version, there's only 3 levels to choose from. So for the racing one, it's Green Forest, Radical Highway, and Skywell. And when you put on default to actually put for the best out of 3, you will be encountering an RNG. So pretty much any stage can be followed by anything. It can be duplicated into 3 stages, so we could actually have 3 sky rolls in a row if it needs to be. But as you can see in the bottom left and the bottom right corner and stuff, it definitely shows a good interface there to show who's won their rounds of matches and who hasn't won. So once you guys star on your side of the screen, that means you won, and then once you get 2 stars, that means you pretty much won the best out of 3. So it was very easy just to let people just to connect and play, and then they followed this format rule, so it makes things a lot more faster. So the turnout of doing these matches were really quick and easy to do on Fightcade.
Yes, they were. It also helps that Fightcade displays their username on the top. So I didn't really have to do anything like in terms of the scoreboard, which is
yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like what I usually do for each tournament that I host. So Fightcade definitely does have its advantages. But looking at the match, yeah, you can definitely tell Wolf has been playing a lot the game. But, Ikigai, he's really close to him. Yeah. He just fell though. But
Yeah,
it's
that
not-
was a massive delay as well.
Yeah.
Once he fell off, now Wolf has the control of the match here. And also Wolf is doing a smart thing to actually collect the electric shield, so he's actually going to gather as many rings as possible. This is usually a tactic I use on my side for racing, is that I would usually collect the electric shield whenever I can get, either through the checkpoint or if it's presented to me in the stage, so then I can collect all the rings and be able to use as many special attacks as possible.
Right. Well, he almost lost balance there, but he recovered.
Yes, so Wolf is on to the final stretch right now, about to go into the final vine pour. I'm not too sure if he knows about the huge stretch for the vine pour, whereby you can actually get even further into the actual platforms here. He's just taking the normal default. There's a certain amount button sequences whereby you can actually reach to the end platforms to make it much more quicker for you, but it doesn't really matter for Wolf since Wolf has taken the second game there.
Alright, so that is 2-0 for Wolf
Yes.
and Ikigai. So according to the bracket here, the next match is between you and Terao. So let me just go back to the replays and find that match. So I believe he's under the name Camion. That should be him. Open link. Okay. I don't think you see that. Alright, one sec. So here's the thing. Each time I open a new window, I have to stream that window.
Unless you can just stream just the desktop, really, and then I don't really need to hear the sound. You can just do it that way.
Oh, okay, so I'll do that then. So share screen. Desktop. Go live. Okay, that should be easier now. Replays. Alright. Yep, right here. Alright, so you should see that.
Yeah.
Alright, so player 1 is actually Terao on the left side, and Blue is on the right side as player 2. And this is the second action race match taking place on Radical Highway.
Show you my real power.
Yes. So Terao is playing as Sonic. I am actually playing as Shadow, and pretty much Terao's experience with the game is that he's only pretty much been hosting tournaments. He doesn't actually have something whereby he's grown up playing the game at all. He's never actually owned playing Sonic Adventure 2. He's only started recently playing it when he's been able to host these tournaments and stuff, and luckily he's been able to play it in a few of our servers as well, in multiple different ways. But you know, as Terao usually is, he doesn't learn to practice the games and stuff. He's just learning to pretty much fill the numbers and compete and stuff. So as you can see here, you know, he's far way back. He has lost a couple of health, and then on my side, because I'm pretty much very experienced in this game, I'm really into the lead right now, and I'm not going to be taking too many the normal shortcuts here, just because what I've learned on Fightcade is that sometimes the controls can feel a bit iffy, because when you are moving forward, and this is pretty much not even just for Fightcade, it's for the Dreamcast version, it tilts slightly to the left when you're running up. So if you ever play the battle version, you're more comfortable with the battle version, then this game feels a bit more slightly weird. So that's why I'm taking it very easy and treating it just like as a normal playthrough, rather than trying to just go really fast and trying to optimize my best time here.
Right, yeah. Because if you took the shortcuts, you're pretty much gambling whether or not you would make it or not. But right now, yeah, you're in the lead. And I see you took the upper path.
Yeah, I did take the upper path, but every time I'm on this ledge here and I try to flip over, I always drop down to the ground. I think it's more so that I am holding the position in a weird manner, so it always makes me drop, unfortunately. So that's why I always drop into the bottom path, and it is slowing down my time. But Terrell is nowhere near to catch up to me, and also he's got no rings as well to kind of get faster. He does have his handicap on, so I think right now he could possibly get a time stop here, or maybe a Sonic Rind on me here to slow me down, but still the lead is so marginal as well. And then also, if you take a look at the bottom of the screen as well, there isn't a interface that shows how far I am in the lead, just like in the battle version. So it doesn't show you how far in the lead. You can pretty much screen look to see how far we both are, and I'm really far ahead of him.
Right, yeah, so that is the major difference between the Dreamcast version and GameCube version, or depending on how you want to look at it, because they do have battle on PC for Steam. But yeah, I mean, for those familiar with the map, you can clearly tell Blue is in the lead and he's about to touch the gold ring. And Blue takes it for the first match between him and Terrell, so it's 1-0. Alright, so it stops there, so I assume it crashed at that point. So
yes, it did, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what I have to do here is just open the second match here. There we go.
So that was the first time it ever crashed on me and Terrell playing this game, so that was very surprising that it did that there. But we are going to be doing the next one of the racing, and I think, oh yeah, so it was green first this time.
Let me show you my
Yes, so it still holds 1-0 even though it's not on the interface on the bottom left and right with the stars.
Yes.
And I noticed you took the upper path here for the beginning to get you some rings.
Yes, so my aim priority whenever I do the racing is to gather as much rings as possible. So at least if I can get to 40 rings, we are always in the clear to actually get a really massive lead. So it'll be easy to get the time stop, and then from there we are controlling the actual race, because you know, essentially the racing mode in Sonic Adventure 2, they have a lot of different ring patterns compared to the one player. So you will notice there's a lot more rings in player 2 when you are doing the multiplayer mode compared to player 1, because it encourages players to pick up rings as they go, so they can actually utilize their special attack as much as possible. Now, for people that would prefer to skip the rings and move on, it might be a good advantage, because you know, you are using like the optimal strats to actually get a lot of advantage on the speed, and you don't need to collect the rings. However, if you do give the other player enough rings and stuff behind and stuff, they can slowly come themselves to get backwards and stuff, and it can be quite a problem if you are getting bombarded with time stops and actual attacks, because that handicap is on as well. So you know, the ring count as well, if you're in a marginal lead and there's a lot of rings behind you that hasn't been collecting the stuff, they can start using the time stops and the special attacks more frequently, and that will be pretty much a problem.
Yeah, especially in battle version if you're facing against Amy, because that would definitely give hell even to a speedrunner. But
absolutely, yeah.
Over here, you have like 182 rings and counting.
Yes. So I always prioritize like the speeding so much. So I try to get as much rings as possible. So there's pretty much physically no way that the other person can get back. I mean, they could pretty much try to do certain things whereby, because I passed a couple of checkpoints and stuff, they could pretty much die, get to a checkpoint, and then reset and get like a special attack going and stuff. However, you know, the only way to bypass that is just pretty much watch the other person's screen. So if they do that type of scam whereby they try to like stop you when you're like in a certain position, then you pretty much stop playing yourself. And I think that's kind of the strat, because like if both of you guys can see each other's screen, then yeah, you pretty much are obliged yourself to actually avoid that little scam there. But anyways, we have finished the race there, so then that is a 2-0 to me there.
Alright, and then the next match within the round 1 stages, we have here Thank You Domo versus King Shadow. So let's open up that match. Yep, right here. And open link. Alright, here we go. So Thank You Domo is on the left side and King Shadow is on the right side. Okay, so it's doing this thing where it's buffering, so let's see if it loads up.
Oh, you need to go to the next one. It's finished.
Oh, go to the next
So you see
one.
at the right bottom corner, it shows the time.
Right here?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's done. The video's done. That's why it says buffering, so the video's done. So you just move to the next replay.
Oh, okay. So hit X and then right here.
Yeah.
Alright, that should be it. So again, they're on the same sides. Thank You Domo on the left, King Shadow on the right. And they just seem to be waiting on preparing. Alright, so it's action race. And they're actually changing their characters here.
Yes. So King Shadow is known to be using Amy whenever he does do the racing, and then Thank You Domo is using the alternative costume for Shadow. So the way how Amy works in this game is pretty much a clone to Sonic. She can actually spin dash, which is pretty cool. She doesn't have like certain ring restrictions, so she can speed up at 20, do the special attacks, Hedgehog Hammer, and 40 rings, and then the 60 ring count is to time stop, really. So she's pretty much fair in this game, very balanced. She can kind of compete with the other players and stuff. I think she's maybe a bit more slower in terms of running, but other than that, because she has a spin dash, you know, you pretty much wrap up that spin dash and you can catch up with the others.
Yeah, it's a shame they didn't put spin dash in the battle version. And even this alternate costume for Shadow looks way cooler than the one on battle. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, but the thing is, like with the alternative costumes and stuff, they don't really do much difference in this one. So like, you know, if you have the alternative costumes of Shadow and stuff, they're just really for aesthetics looks. So yes, you know, people kind of prefer the Dreamcast costume compared to the battle version. But as for gameplay wise, it's actually very balanced as well, because ring count still the same, 20, 40, 60 rings and stuff. And also speed rise is exactly the same speed rise as if it has no costume as well.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a fall there for King Shadow.
Yep, that is a fall there for King Shadow, but he does get the Sonic Wind, and Thank You Domo is dropping down, and it seems as though King Shadow is going to take the lead here from a massive drop here. And as you can see here, Amy is picking up the rings now. So she does have a thing whereby she can speed up here, but King Shadow is not looking for that. He's looking for the 40 to 60 ring count, so then at least he can actually put some damage and make it a much more longer lead when he needs to be. Gets the checkpoint as well for 5 ring count to get more rings.
And yeah, he's breezing through right now. I do like the spin dash animation, but oh, she fell down. Or he fell down,
yes.
rather.
And I do remember this live in the tournament. When he fell down, I made the panties joke at that time because of the way how he actually did the camera angle intentionally. The way how he kind of like zoomed with his left and right analog stick to make her look down at those panties and stuff, which isn't common in the newer games. Like, you know, even though she has the same costume, you will never see those panties again because Sega does not allow that.
So if she's not wearing the panties, then okay, it's 1-0. Thank you, Domo.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, if she's not wearing the panties, then what is she wearing? I guess nothing.
No. I'm just saying that you can't see anything up her skirt really. So like, her skirt in the newer games doesn't go up. It stays there as if it's like a brick wall. So there's no way, like, you know, getting the camera angle, yeah, that you can see her panties and stuff. Like even in the Mario and Sonic Olympic games, she had shorts on or boxers. Well, shorts. I would say shorts. To cover up.
Oh, I see. So the newer games pretty much just like
Censored it, really.
Yeah.
They pretty much censored it.
Yeah.
You know, usually Japanese games uncensor their games and stuff, and they don't have anything censored in their games. And this was kind of thing back in the 90s. A lot of wrestling games would always censor their games. So because Sonic Adventure wasn't too risque or sexual, had sexual themes back then, they didn't really censor anything in the actual wrestling version.
Right.
In the game. That I know of, that I've seen of. So pretty much if you get a Japanese version, you pretty much get in the Western version as well. So you know, when you are running around in Sonic Amy Sonic Adventure, you jump, you definitely see the panty shots from behind. But nowadays, if you jump with Amy or she does anything whereby you know you could possibly see up the skirt, it always be censored.
Well, right now, it's not too far the distance between the two players.
Just wait a minute.
So she actually does say just wait a minute in this version.
Yes, and if you can see as well, the animations are different as well compared to this version, the battle version. So the way how she's saying it is different compared to how it is in the battle version when you look at it.
Yeah, because in the battle version she kisses, but here she's just like thrusting forward.
Yes. So also as well, the voice clips of Amy, they're pretty much used from the original Sonic Adventure with all these voice clips that she has. And in the battle version, they have unique voice clips for Amy that's specifically used just for the Mario Player section. So you actually have more unique voice clips for all these characters and stuff. Even Sonic and Shadow, they have unique voice clips for the battle version. So they actually asked the voice actors to say a couple more lines for the battle version just to make it more sweeter when they use the Mario Player version, whereas the Dreamcast just reuse lines at times.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a neat thing they did for battle. Kind of makes the game seem more complete. Even though what's strange is that like for example this alternate costume for Shadow, like you don't see that in battle, and it was because, if I'm not mistaken, due to like some copyright issue.
Yes, so they were designed differently, and it must have been due to some licensing at the time that they couldn't just like, you know, copy and paste all the DLC costumes onto that battle version. So they removed it and this recreated new ones instead. They do look similar to it, the Otelo costumes, but not too similar as well. But as we see there, King Shadow takes that game there.
So it's a 1-1.
Okay, so
Alright, so it ends there.
I close that. So it must have been the first clip, but that first clip would buffer. So that first clip we had between Frankie Dome and King Shadow, whereby it did buffer, we could try that again to see that final game. If not, then we can just pretty much tell everyone what the scores are.
Alright, so let me see here. Open link.
Because I remember last time, yeah, when we tried to view this, it would just buff it at 302.
301.
Yeah, it buffered, yeah.
Okay.
So there's no way. So yeah, so we can only see those two matches, unfortunately. So that means that from the first link that we couldn't see, that was the first game, and King Shadow won it.
Right. So if we look on the challenge bracket, yeah, King Shadow took it 2-1.
Yes.
Against Thank You Domo. All right. So this now brings us to the losers round between Terao and Thank You Domo. So. Let's go find that one. Yep, right here. Open link. Okay.
So yes, loser side. I believe this was for treasure hunting.
Yes. Yeah, that is correct. It's treasure hunting. Because the way I format it is on the winner's side, it's action race, treasure hunting, shooting, and then loser side is treasure hunting, shooting, racing, in that order.
Yes. So treasure hunting, a mode that isn't picked a lot and an underused mode as well. We are going to be going in Pumpkin Hill first. The interesting thing as well is that, as I said before, alternative characters and alternative skins don't really apply to the Dreamcast version, since, as you can see, Chaos Zero is actually pretty fast in this game, as if he's playing as like Knuckles and Rouge, so you don't really see the difference of speed how it is in the battle version. And also, it's much more fairer, to be honest. So like, you see Chaos Zero and perhaps Takao. I think Takao's in this game as well, and they pretty much don't have the radar gimped or fervent, and also the special attacks isn't amplified a lot as well. And also, as you can see there, where Thank You Domain's right next to the pieces as well, that the pieces are a lot more brighter on the map compared to the battle version. The battle version is more darker, but at the same time, you do get an exclamation mark. In the Dreamcast version, you get no exclamation mark when you're really close to it. The only thing you have is the red marker, which actually covers a huge radius. And that was one of the complaints whereby people had a hard time trying to dig in certain places and they couldn't find it, which is why Battle did include the exclamation mark in the end.
Yeah, I think the exclamation marks does help, because if it wasn't for them, probably be taking some time, trying to dig up the emerald piece, especially if it's not above the ground.
Yes. And also on top of it as well, for the battle version, a lot of these maps that was from the Dreamcast version, they're now the level 3 maps for most of these maps of the game. So like, these are specified as level 3 maps. Some of them might be level 2, depending on the few specific ones, but most of them are level 3. They're considered level 3. So as you can see here, it's quite unfair to actually have these level 3 maps, the ones present. I think they should have pretty much went with level 2 and level 1 for the Dreamcast versions. So it'd been a lot more easier compared to just having level 3 maps right off the bat on the Dreamcast version. Despite the fact that, Pumpkin Hill is a popular map, however, I feel as though, like, for a beginner player, I think they probably would have satisfied for something like a Wild Canyon or a Dry Lagoon.
Right, yeah, they definitely picked Pumpkin Hill due to popularity, and I guess the song also had an influence in that. I think it did. I mean, it is catchy.
Yes, it is definitely catchy. I wasn't like a huge fan into the rap at the time, but at the same time, it has grown on to me to actually listen to the songs a bit more. And also, all the songs' representation is talking about the events of what Knuckles is doing on the stage and stuff. So it doesn't have a good coherence of the lyrics around what is going on. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. I just noticed here that when Chaos attacks, he has the black wave that Rouge does.
Yes. So Chaos is under Rouge, and then Takao's under Knuckles. They're pretty much alternative skins for both of those characters, kind of essentially.
Yeah.
And their special attacks don't change really. Which in the battle version, they have their own unique special attacks for them, for their own ones.
You won't be so lucky
Yep.
this time.
And alright, so Thank You Domo just took it, so it's 1-0 or 0-1.
Yes.
And right now they're on Meteor Herd.
Yeah. I'm not too sure about Thank You Domo's background situation of the game, but I do know that Terrell does not like treasure hunting at all. He finds it very confusing, and as you can see here, he's just running around in circles a lot of the places. And for a lot of beginner players, people prefer just something more straightforward, like the racing stages, whereby you're running from one end to the other, and it's very simple to understand it. But with the treasure hunting, and you have to navigate around a potential sandbox area, then that is when it kind of gets mind-boggling and stuff, and you have to kind of learn the trades of this game and stuff. So yes, so you have to kind of get used to the game really to take part in treasure hunting, as you see here. But if it's a racing, then I feel as though everyone has a fair chance to get very comfortable with the game really quickly and do as best as they can.
Yeah, I mean, lately, right now, I've been kind of like appreciating, treasure hunting more. Considering that I've mostly just played the game for its action race. But, it's really something to behold of because, it's not straightforward and you actually do have to think, as you said earlier. Considering they actually picked this map for Adventure 2, yeah, it was probably how can I put it? Another popular map to be chosen. But it's definitely difficult to navigate. I mean, if you're starting off, playing the game. So they probably could have just started off with like Wild Canyon, Dry Lagoon, and heck, even Aquatic Mine would be easier.
Yeah, I think what screws up a lot of people is the verticality of the maps. So they don't know how to get faster in one point to the next. Like, you can get to the top of the map in less than 20 seconds if you know how to optimally use the rockets. Because to climb up there is not really that long. And there's multiple rockets to get to many parts of the stuff. So quite eventually, Funky Doma knows how to climb up, whereby Terraus is on the bottom platform and stuff, and he doesn't know how to use verticality. So it's really up to Funky Doma of how fast he can actually get one Master Emerald. So he actually got a reading here, and he just needs to know where his red reading is, and then he should be able to get the first one.
Yeah, he's pretty close right now. It's somewhere in the containers. Oh, there it is.
It's just there.
Yep.
Yeah. So now, because he's got one, he's definitely got an advantage over Terrell to actually win this. So, because Terrell is on the bottom route, if Terrell could actually get lucky and get a chaos, a piece of the Master Emerald, that would be great to try to look for a draw here, but doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it looks like Terrell's giving up. Just by the way the game is going.
Yes. It becomes very impossible when you have to have some thinking involved. Because I know that there's a lot of players that doesn't want to think for themselves and they just want to have the game run its course really. So like if you play like a fighting game, all is that you're going to beat the guy up, so you don't need to think too much. Maybe if you want to become a better player, then yes, of course you need to have some strategy to win. But for someone that's a casual player, it's very easy to get into, especially with the just the racing itself as well. So if you're just racing a Sonic and Shadow, it's very easy to run into and get into it. But then as for the treasure hunting, you definitely need to memorize the level design and also understand how the the radar system works as well, of how to navigate and stuff. Because you go in 360 directions, it's not going forward and backwards, it's all over the place. So
yeah, another method that's possible, I'll explain after. Thank you, Doma just took the win here, so it's 2-0 against Terrell. Alright, so that concludes that match. And if we go back to the challenge, after that I think we went to winners. So it was between me and Wolf. So yep, it's right here. So this is the round 2 matches, and it is again treasure hunting.
yes. So this time we're gonna actually have 2 players that have had experience with treasure hunting. So this should be interesting to see who actually wins this version. Actually.
Right. Yeah. So now I remember what I was going to comment. So another method into getting the pieces much faster than the opponent is actually studying the hints or memorizing the hint locations. And this is like a method that speedrunners use for treasure hunting. I personally have not played it like that. I mean, I'm only starting to. So my favorite stage is actually Meteor Herd. So that stage I do know some of the locations, but you'll see how I fare against Wolf here, since this isn't really like my cup of tea.
Right. I mean, the hints is definitely a good way. I think it is definitely the strongest way. Like, the hints are everywhere, especially like in Meteor is right next to you. So if you read the hint and you know where it actually is, then it's pretty much easy to do that there.
Yeah.
I am one with the Master Emerald.
Also, one thing to point out as well. So in that cutscene, Rouge was having her cleavage up and down and stuff. That's only in the Dreamcast version. The battle version has removed that.
I was actually thinking about that, like just seeing how her her cleavage was jiggling like that.
Yeah. So they noticed that was something they had to remove in the battle version. So yes, the battle version did remove certain stuff like that, unfortunately. But But anyways, the first piece was collected by Wolf. And Wolf definitely knows how to use the advantage of the rockets here, the Pumpkin Hill. So you can see much more advanced skills shown here. Whereby Pumpkin Hill, you definitely need to know where the rockets are, and you be able to get to the highest points. And then once you are at the highest points of these maps in Pumpkin Hill, wherever you are, then you could actually drill down faster by holding down the B button. So as you can see here, both players are actually quite next to each other, but Rouge is much more closer. That is going to come up. You should be near around it right now.
I am close to it.
Yep, and now you got the second piece. So now it's 1-1 in piece. So as you can see, it's a lot more quicker than the previous set. And this is really looking to be a bit more competitive as well, to show how close it can be. Because even if the other person is getting a sensor radar, you can obviously tell that you can hear as well, because you're on this split screen, and you can try to go as fast as possible to that area as well, if the other person's having a difficult time trying to find it now.
Yeah, so I guess you can see like the major difference when Wolf and I are playing versus the earlier matches.
Yes, because none of you guys are staying in the same place. If there's no readings of the green sense, then you know that it's definitely in some other location. But right now, you guys are opting to climb more now, so it is definitely slowing down your progress, unfortunately. And now we're just trying to see who's the one that's going to be more closer to it, and then the other one's going to follow suit, really. And then I think one of you guys actually read it, Ghost Pumpkin's Necklace. I do remember this live as well. It was very Pacific. And the way how you guys go is quite interesting there, which really was a Ghost Pumpkin's Necklace. And when we do see it,
I think I do remember. Circle the mountain with a sad face.
yes, because there's plenty of mountains around here, and like I said, it's very Pacific with these hints. So you have to memorize it. That the level design and so much different variables and factors around it. Because compared to Sonic Adventure 1, it felt like very empty, and there wasn't really much ideas put into Sonic Adventure 1. It was just like, oh yeah, you can fly and glide around, and oh yeah, there's a mechanic here whereby you can pull the lever and stuff. But in Sonic Adventure 2, they went all out, whereby like there was train tracks, there was ledges, there was certain dig ways, so you can go like dig into the mirror. So like there was a lot of themes and special things around it. And then as you can see here, Wolf finally gets it as well, and Wolf takes the first game.
So it's 1-0 Wolf against your host Sith.
This time, I'm serious.
So now we are in I believe it's not Dry Lagoon. It is Wild Canyon. Second game.
Yes. And the Emerald's pretty close.
Yes. So this is much more easier for everyone to play. So as you can see here, you guys went both up, and also you just got
The second
piece of
one.
the master, yeah, as well. So right there, you guys have covered the main area, so it must be down below. So now it's kind of like a speed run in it, actually.
Yeah.
A race to the last one.
Pretty much.
So now let's see who actually has the better treasure hunting skills here. If it's super close as well.
Oh, I remember this.
All the world's jewels will be
I was so
And you
close
just, yeah.
to messing up.
You're so close there, yeah. But luckily on your second spin that you did get the piece as well. So matches like that can be insanely done quick. Even in mad space, it can be that quick. If you have two advanced, high experience players that know how to do treasure hunting, it can go that quick. But yet again, because of the RNG effect, we are going back into Pumpkin Hill.
Once again.
So as you can see, the Wolf has got a kind of a lead here because he did damage you in the beginning, which got you back into the respawn point. However, you are very close, but then you died again to the train. So it's usually a hint whereby if you ever see a ring, just collect one ring. So at least, like, you know, that can never happen. Because yes, there are objects in this game that can actually physically kill you, really.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate. All I needed was just one ring, and I died.
Yeah. Because as you can see here, Wolf does have rings and stuff, and he did lose some rings to Eggman. No, not Eggman's robot. It was to the gun robot there. And even so, he got hit by the same place where you got hit by the train. But because he had the rings, he was able to get the first piece of the Master Emerald there.
Oh man. Oh well. Next time.
Alright, so we are on board to get the second piece as well. So I wonder where it is.
Yeah, I definitely noticed this map does take a bit longer to even find
Yes.
the next pieces. Pumpkin Mountain.
I mean, the good thing about the hints as well is that it showcases it to the both players, so both you guys will see it. So even if so let's just say both people know the hints to the games and stuff, and one person gets the hint, then the person that did it, that read the hint but didn't check the monitor to read the hint, will have an advantage because of the fact that they didn't stop to read the hint.
Yeah, I think in this version of the game, you could pause the game and read the hint as well.
Yes. Yeah, you can do that as well. But it depends on the tournament setting if both players agree to pause it and read it. Because I do remember one of the tournaments before, I had a Wolf in the server, is that he paused the game, which I did agree to, so he could actually read the hint of where one of the pieces was.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did agree to it. I mean, if you really wanted to see the hint or what it was, then yeah, I was okay with it. But as you can see, Wolf is very, very close to it, but he's having a very hard time trying to find it here.
Yeah. I wonder if I did take it. I did, yeah. I took it.
So you took the second one. So now it's very competitive. This is down to the final piece of the Master Emerald. I wonder where it could be. So Wolf has been very more consistent on trying to get nearby the area, but then Sif, on your side, you have been able to keep up with the pacings and understand where he is, and that's what has made it very competitive at this point. But you kind of sneak under his nose and being able to take the pieces of the Master Emerald, which he should have gotten, but now, you know, now it's up for grabs for anyone to win it now.
Right. And he's already close. Wow. I actually look forward to the first treasure hunting tournament on Saturday, the 14th,
It's closer.
which, based on the recording, it will be tomorrow.
Yes, that one won't be on Fightcade, but it will be using the Steam version, and it will be played through Hamachi to actually connect both players together with the Battle Network mod. And then also you do have a version as well, an alternative, that if people don't have the Steam version or the Hamachi, they can connect using Parsec.
Yeah, which is great because if you don't own the game, you could just connect through my PC and play treasure hunting through Parsec.
Yes, so that kind of eliminates any problems or issues with, like, if someone wants to just play on Hamachi, you guys can still play Hamachi, whereby one person's on Parsec connected to someone else's PC that has Hamachi, and then connect with the Hamachi player, and then bam, you guys can still play regardless.
Yeah. Oh, I think I remember this. It's under that hair, or not hair, but those plants.
Oh yes, but it just depends on who actually gets it first though.
Yeah, we were struggling here. Hey, that's what happens when you don't have the exclamation mark.
Yes, if you don't have the exclamation mark, it can get a bit tricky and stuff, so you're pretty much digging everywhere and stuff, but it's usually in a place whereby it's in a very common area whereby it looks very different compared to everything else around it.
So yeah, I actually took it there, so 2-1 against
Yes,
Wolf.
so you advance to the winner's side.
Yeah. So I will close that. And if you look at the bracket, the next match is between you and King Shadow. So let's have a look at that.
Which, unfortunately, King Shadow wasn't able to compete, but he went AFK for a very long time, so then I just got advanced to the next round there. So I didn't get to play against King Shadow.
Ah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, so then it went
And
down
then-
to losers then.
Yeah, and then the losers, King Shadow just got DQ'd because we again raid for an extra 5 minutes for him to play against Ikigai, and he didn't show up there. So then the next one we can do is between the Wolf Philly and Thank You Domo.
Okay. So let's have a look at that. Let's go here, replays. Yep, it's right here.
I believe this one, round 2, will be shooting
Yeah.
on loser side.
So this is shooting. So this is actually the first time we see shooting in my server.
A good guy or a bad guy?
Yes. And, you know, a lot of people have a lot of doubts of shooting because it goes really quick. But really, it depends on the strategy between the players. Because, yes, it can go insanely quick if people are just running at each other and button mashing, and you're just losing your health really quickly. Or you can kind of be a bit strategic and kind of plan your attacks, and it will actually be a longer match. But, you know, we will see how it goes between Fenki Domo and Wolf, or what they do here.
Right. And just to take back what I said, this isn't actually the first time we're doing shooting. The first time was actually back in December when we did the first All Modes tournament using the Steam version. Excuse me, not the Steam version, but rather the Dolphin version. And
Yes,
that was-
indeed, yeah.
Yeah, that was thanks to Wolf, who hosted it on his PC.
Yeah. So as you can see here, Frankie Domo is really low, and the only way he can recover is getting rings, but at the same time, Wolf is very aggressive, not allowing him to recover, and you can see that the first game actually goes to Wolf there.
Alright, so that is 0-1 or 1-0.
And we actually get weapons bet again by the RNG.
Yep, and funny enough, we have Big on Eggman's mech.
Yes, so Big was in this version as an alternative costume. He can't be played in the battle version. That got removed. with the Dark Chow Walker. And I actually do like the Dark Chow Walker edition compared to Big, because pretty much Big was a cameo in this game, and I didn't really care too much about the cameos that Big was in whereby he's in the stages. But with Dark Chow, I feel as though he holds a better special place in the costumes and stuff because of the fact that he's more connected to the Chows. But then again, as you can see there, Wolf has won again, so that's a quick 2-0.
Yeah, that was definitely the quickest match. Alright, so we can exit out of there. Alright, so the next match is actually between, I believe it's either Ikigai versus Wolf or you versus myself. So let's have a look here. So it's actually between you and I. So let's view this replay.
So this is going to be round 3, and it's going to be shooting.
Yep.
Are you a good guy or a bad guy?
Alright, so Blue, you're on the left side, and I am on the right side.
These rules?
Yes. So I pretty much stuck to the normal tails. And then you stuck with normal Eggman as well. So
Yeah.
the first game was Sand Ocean.
Yeah, I remember this match.
Yes. So Sand Ocean, you start in the center, but at the same time there is pretty much quicksand all over and stuff. So pretty much you can cheese out the player really quickly by punching them into the quicksand here, but at the same time, just to be safe on your side, you can pretty much land on the other platforms on side by side. There's pretty much around 20 rings on each of them, so you can actually suit yourself up with a special attack. But then also, if you grab the lever and stuff, you can be access to the balloons at the top, which will maybe give you some extra rings, or maybe a speed up, or maybe a bubble. So the bubble is pretty much the best thing you can get here, but as you can see here, you just fell in, and then I got the first game there.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And then, World beholds, we do another Sand Ocean again because of the RNG.
Good lord.
So as you can see here, I quickly make sure that there is some pressure to you, collect all the rings there, and then I go back into the left platform whereby you're on the right platform. I got the 20 rings. I'm gonna shoot at you straight away. And then that balloon that you grabbed had nothing in there, but I knew that you had the special attack, which I had to dodge. And I'm trying to collect as much of the rings, trying to get the second special attack whereby you have the homing missiles at you. And then I got the bubble there, which is definitely favorable for me. So you get extra protection if you get hit as well. I dropped you the rings there, and I'm trying to collect more balloons and stuff. So I got 52, and then I'm looking at the balloon there, and I'm trying to get to the 60 ring so I can get the big laser for the special attack here. So that's why I'm shooting at the balloon here. Then I get it, and then that's when I'm gonna load it. And I'm good at a good position here. So now I can pretty much just fire right down at you. You can't really dodge it there. There's no way that you can dodge. You can't jump over it. You can't do anything in that position. And then from here, I don't mind losing my bubble whereby I can keep on shooting at you because I have a HP advantage. No matter what here. And then from that push there, I got you into the quicksand, and that's a 2-0 to me to advance into the grand finals on winner's side.
I was cheesed out, man.
Yes.
Alright, so we'll close that, and then the next match had to have been Ikigai versus Wolf. So let's have a look here.
Yes, which is quite unfortunate because this is going to be a repeat of the round 1 side between Ikigai and Wolf. And Ikigai said he really wanted to do the treasure and the shooting, which King Shadow wasn't there, unfortunately, and then he had to face the same opponent again on the winner side that he lost to. So he has to have some redemption back now, and he has to do racing against Wolf again.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can come up with something, if something like that were to happen. Because I did want to see Ikigai in the other modes. Oh, they paused. I forgot, why did they pause?
I'm not too sure.
I mean, it looks like Ikigai was taking the lead there.
Oh yeah, it needs to be streamed. That's why on Discord. That's why I got paused
Oh,
at
okay.
the time.
It was Wolf, I think, who started to stream it.
Yeah.
Oh, Ikigai's actually putting some pressure there.
Yeah, he did. And he actually got the hit on Wolf there, but he got hit by the explosion from one of the aircrafts.
Ah. Oh.
But Wolf does catch up,
Oh my god.
and this is quite a scrap, but Ikigai does take it. Onto the first checkpoint.
And he goes around it.
Yeah. Which doesn't actually put much time around it, really, but as you can see here, Wolf does use the skip to actually get the invincibility, and uses another skip to get into the higher platform. And as you can see, Ikigai tries to look. Okay, no, he just ignores it and he just goes his own pathway. So he doesn't know about the skip. But with the Holman attack precision, he is able to get up here anyway. And now try to see if he can catch up to Wolf here, which Wolf does have probably a 5-second lead now. Stretching to 10 now since Ikigai was clipped to the wall there. And okay, so Wolf goes for the left iron box. So the left iron box is 10 rings. If you went for the right iron box in the air when he was free falling, that's guaranteed 20 rings for a special attack there when he's free falling there. But he decides to go for the 10 rings, but it doesn't really matter. He's got a lot of rings as well right now, and he is definitely using the time stops to slow down Ikigai. Sonic Ring does come out, and that's pretty good as well.
I think the whole shortcut that Wolf took pretty much was the game changer. Had it not been for that, Ikigai probably would have been in the lead.
Yeah, that is true, but at the same time, Wolf has dropped some time on his side, so you know, Ikigai can still catch up with him. There's a possibility that Ikigai can definitely catch up.
Oh yeah, they are definitely close. I like that Ikigai is actually avoiding these somersaults and just going around it.
Oh yeah. So you can kind of see the different methods, so you don't actually always have to somersault into all these passes because there are always other options to go around it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, nice chaos fit, and Ikigai falls to his death there. And a time stop as well.
Oh my god.
Delaying an extra 10 seconds.
Playtime is over.
Gotta give it to Ikigai though. He really did put up a fight here. Because you can definitely see that Ikigai is familiar with the game. May not be
Yes, he is.
like a speedrunner, but you know, he does play it well.
Yeah. He does say like his favorite games in the series are the Sonic Adventure series, so he is very used to Sonic Adventure 2. And also he did host a tournament once for treasure hunting, and he actually did really well in that tournament as well.
Oh right. That was the one for Thunderia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So, oh yeah, you go.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing the second match. Green first. Wolf won the one in the Radical Highway. And now we are seeing both of the players using the bottom route. And we're about to enter the first checkpoint here.
Yep.
Okay, spin dash to go past these robots here from Wolf's side. And Ikigai did use the bottom route, which is slower, but he didn't really take advantage of collecting all the rings at the bottom, which I would usually use the bottom route for. Because if you're not going to use the bottom route for collecting the rings, then you might as well just go for the top route.
Yeah. I think right now Ikigai is really concerned with catching up to Wolf. Because Wolf lately is gaining more experience speedrunning the game.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So see right there, he just rolled down that path, which is way faster than just running.
And because Wolf has dropped down to 20 rings, he did get the 5 ring count. Now he's got the 10 ring count. Before, he probably would have got speed up if he still collected and still had his rings there.
Right. Huh. Interesting. Had some reverb to that. Playtime is over.
Yeah, Wolf is definitely opting to use Electric Shield again. Since the last time he was on green first, he's always collecting the thing. And then he gets it again, of course, since he has reached the plus 90 ring count. So there was no other rewards if you go into the checkpoint other than getting the Electric Shield. That's like the best reward you can get from the checkpoints.
Yeah.
Playtime is over.
Oh, I see Wolf has the Chaos Control. But I don't think he's opting to use it anyway, since he is close to the gold ring. Oh, he uses it. Okay.
He uses it now. And it's actually pretty good as well to use it then, because the Chaos Control does stop the platforms from shaking as well. So that was actually pretty smart by him to use it there. But he actually won there, so it seems as though that one of these guys did disconnect just before it went to the going. Might have been Ikigai there, because he saw the going, so that's that. That's 2-0 to Wolf there.
Alright. And the next match. Okay. So it looks like it may have been between me and Wolf.
Yes, that should be the next match there.
And yep. It was treasure hunting again.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So I am on the left side and Wolf is on the right side. I'm just gonna take a quick bathroom break, but the match will be going on.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty, so I guess both of the participants was waiting for the stream to be up in Discord. That's why this was waiting for the matches to continue. But now we are doing the hunting, treasure hunting again between these two participants, and Wolf snagged it last time. But let's just see how it will turn this time around. So what will these stages be this time around? Okay, we're back in Pumpkin Hill again. So, Pumpkin Hill. Let's see if they've learned anything from the last time. So you can actually see that Sif is rocking out with the really cool bat costume for Rouge the Bat. Very spy related bat costume, which I do really like it. Her design here back then. And then Wolf is just using the normal Knuckles design. So keeping it simple there. We can see a lot of slowdown there from this, so it's going to speed up a bit as well, but it's actually getting better, because I do remember there was certain connection issues between the participants when they was doing it, so the replays do catch it as well, which is kind of funny enough, because I thought that the replays themselves wouldn't really catch the connection issues or lag and stuff, but you can actually see there. And from there, that was a really clever special attack from Knuckles there from Wolf's side, which actually got Wolf to die there, Sif to die there, and then as you can see there, now Wolf is dead from the time stop. So now they're both back at square one.
Yep.
And they have to go and fight it again now.
I'm back, and yeah, this definitely was not my moment of triumph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can
so
see.
now
Oh
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I was just circling around just to find the emerald, but
Yeah.
Wolf is really, he's just right there with the yellow what do you call it, the marker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he's right next to it, and he sees it on his screen. Now he's just getting clipped to the wall, and now he gets it. So, Wolf gets it. Both the pieces of Master Emerald, and he takes the first game there.
1-0.
Let's see what the next one is. Oh, now we are back at Wild Canyon. Also, as well, with the Dreamcast version, this is actually running at 30 frames per second. So if you are used to the battle version of 60 FPS, don't be alarmed if it does feel a bit more slower and not smooth as the 60 FPS. This is the way how the Dreamcast version does look. So that's pretty much it.
Honestly, it's not too bad. I mean, like, well, I guess because I grew up with, you know, playing it on Dreamcast and GameCube. But it doesn't look bad at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, it really doesn't, because like you just get used to it, really.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of games, you know, in the 7th generation or 8th generation, they were running at 30 FPS anyway. A lot of cinematic games, so it's not that bad. And I'm talking about console games, not really PC games, because PC games you can alter the FPS. But console, yeah. Oh, and Wolf actually gets a chaos piece of the Master Emerald that isn't actually tracked. So sometimes, yeah, like, you know, there is a certain order to collect the piece of the Master Emerald and stuff. If you collect one of them that's not in the order, then you can just get the other one more close by, which Wolf did, and Wolf takes it as well. So game 2, game 1 goes both to Wolf, and Wolf advances to the loser side of the grand finals to play yours truly.
Yes, sir. And it's bye-bye, Sith. Alright.
Yes.
So now, the moment of truth. The finals. It is Wolf versus Blue. So let's have a look here. Open link.
So we did spin the wheel as per your rules, and what did we get from spinning it?
This is a racing game.
We got a kart race.
Yes, which was actually pretty surprised actually. This wasn't actually included in the first 3 rounds, and all of a sudden we actually got the kart racing, so we are going to show a kart racing grand finals.
Which I'm glad that I spun the wheel and we got this, because I actually think it's a great way to end it.
Yes, so ironically, kart racing has more DLC modes and maps and stuff you can choose from compared to the battle version. So there was a couple more maps, Christmas theme maps, and other stages whereby it was a lot more harder and stuff that you can use. And I don't know if we can showcase it in the Fightcade, because it definitely had the download section, but I don't think you can actually download it. But it definitely shows that yes, you can get more maps to play on kart racing compared to the free difficulties you get. The battle version is pretty much lazy. It's just those ones. It's just the easy, medium, and advanced. That's it, unfortunately. But on the Dreamcast, you get a couple maps, and it's actually pretty fun. Like, kart racing is a lot more fun on the Dreamcast version compared to the battle. The only issue I have with the Dreamcast version is the way how it zoomed in to the kart races. As you can see there, you are missing some of the karts, but in the battle version it's a bit more zoomed down. It feels much more relaxed and stuff. I actually do like it that way instead of how the camera angle is.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised you noticed the differences between the battle version and Dreamcast version, because I mean, I don't see it, but like, I don't know, it is fun to play, but I've always struggled with it, honestly.
Yes. I'm not too sure if this follows. I think it does follow this as well, so it is on 30 FPS in the kart racing on this version compared to the 60 FPS, which is much more better, the battle version. Also, alternative skins in this as well. I don't know if he was able to choose in the Dreamcast version, because when I was pressing up and down the character select before you're choosing characters and stuff, it doesn't seem like we can get it, but I think we can get it with certain characters as well in the Dreamcast version. But yes, as you can see there, I won the first race, which was the beginner race. And then what we're going to do, we're going to showcase all of them. We're going to be doing the beginner first. Now we're going to do the standard. And unfortunately for Wolf, it keeps on getting harder and harder for him. And I knew he was, having a hard time with this, especially when, he felt as though like he was having a hard time with the controls. That's what he was talking about in the voice channel at the time. But as you can see here, the performance in Wolf keeps getting worse and worse. You can see him that he's crashing into walls and stuff, and it's not going his way. But because I've memorized these level designs so well, it's so easy for me to kind of navigate stuff. I don't really need to. I mean, there are times where I slow down a lot because of my drifting, and I don't really want to crash into the walls, and it makes it easier for the rubber banding to work against me and these guys to catch up. So you can see some of the AIs are catching up when I do drift and stuff. But at the same time, I tried to my best not to crash into the walls, and I understand how to drift and keep my momentum at these certain moments throughout the race.
Right. Yeah, you definitely have more experience in this mode than I do, and I mean Wolf, like he knows the game too, but I definitely see that he's having a bit of a harder time in the standard race. Yes.
Yeah, because he knows about the standard and expert stuff, and he did a lot more better in the other tournament. But again, he had issues with his controls at the time, which is unexplained. We don't know why he had issues. Like, I had no problem with the issues with the controls here. As you can see, my racing as is if it's optimal compared to the battle version that I usually play as well. So it's not really any different for me. Maybe there might have been some connection issues on his end, but for me it was pretty smooth. Probably the smoothest experience in the night actually overall.
Okay.
But yes, we both opted to use the Shadow and Sonic carts. So these carts are the normal skins. These are the fastest. They both have the same mirror skills. So I knew that Wolf was going to choose Sonic. He usually uses Sonic kart racing in his kart racing because he's a big fan of Team Sonic Racing, and I remember that he used Sonic in that. And for me to counteract that, and I wanted to make sure that I had a good fair game, is to pretty much pick Shadow. If I used anyone else, then he would have been able to catch up with me.
Yeah. Alright, so we have here 2-0 against Wolf.
So now we are going to do the expert one.
Alright. Now, if you win this, then you take the tournament, but if Wolf wins this one,
then he needs to win another 2 more afterwards.
Which would then eventually reset the bracket. Oh, what happened here to both of you?
Just like a desync.
Is this because of Fightcade?
Yeah, replay messed up.
Oh my god.
So as you can see here, it's not showcasing it, so unfortunately we won't be able to see the last race. Yeah, it's completely desynced.
Let me just...
So in the...
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in the race itself, you can actually clearly see like how it was normally racing, but now it's completely desynced in the replay. So unfortunately we aren't able to see the final race, but I could say that the final race, how it ended, is that I won the expert race, and that was it.
Yes, and Blue becomes the second. Oh, not second. He wins for a second time at the Arc, and it is the second time taking the champion role at the server. But yeah, I'm just gonna close this because this looks funny.
Yeah, that's bad.
All right.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, sir. And so yeah, the next tournament will be the treasure hunting tournament, which will be on January 14th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I hope to see you guys there. Thank you, Blue, for joining me on commentary, and we'll see you next time. Take care.